All right, everyone. Hello and welcome. My name is Moose, and we are shoutcasting Week 1 Aegis Guardian League game between the Spartan Shields and Imperial Gaming. Should be a ton of fun. Remember, the Aegis Guardians League is a gold platinum tier tournament that is run by Aegis Esports. If you want to go check them out, please do so. They are phenomenal. Also, if you do enjoy the content, please feel free to like the video, subscribe to the channel, or follow my Twitter. But with that out of the way, let's go ahead and dive right into this one. This was a best of three series. It was placed last week, week 1 of the Aegis Guardians League. And this is going to be the first of the best of three that they had. So it should be a pretty fun matchup. Let's go ahead and get the plays out of the way, see where we're at and all that fun stuff. Over on the side of the Spartan Shields, you've got Newbie Derp playing as Fiora, Grand Poly playing as the Zinzhao, you've got FGZ9 playing as the Vex, Flame and Shock as the Aphelios, and Sir Comet 123 as the Thresh. Meanwhile, Imperial Gaming, Noble Bark, Swaggy P, Zurix Fire, Paradigm Shift, and Rin are your players. Gwen, Vi, Galio, Twitch, and Nami. So, taking a look at these lineups here, I mean, looking at what we've got, I mean, this is going to be really tough for, I think, Newbie Derp here in this game. I'm excited to see what Paradigm Shift and Rin are going to be able to do. I think Twitch can be a fine pick, especially in gold, platinum level Q. And Nami is, I think Nami is an underrated support right now. But I'm really focusing in on this Gwen Fiora matchup. Newbie Derp is going to have a really tough time making sure that she's able to stick on this Gwen. And if they get behind early, then it's going to be really tough for the Fiora to stay in contention with the amount of like impact that the Gwen provides. And you know, the strategy for Gwen is just shut her down. If you can shut her down early on, then you know the Gwen is a non-factor. But if you can't do that, then it's going to be difficult. I mean, if you look at her items, Noble Bark is going for Adorned Shield, got the pot as well. So really looking to go in for the kill, not looking for a sustain there. And so I'm excited to see how that lane plays out for sure. Just FYI, I do not know the result of the match. I do know, well, I guess I do know the results of the match because I do know who won. But I do not know how it happened. So I'm very excited to see, you know, what both these teams are bringing to the table because we will be casting for them for the remainder of this split. You know, me, Cursive, the rest of the Aegis Esports lineup, going to be just an opportunity to come through. Derp getting ignited, losing almost all of their health down to about 150 HP there. So yeah, should be pretty fun. Super excited to continue to do this. Zurix Fire in trouble. Going to be able to get away from Grand Poly. Nice use of the charge to be able to get away from the audacious charge that the Zinzao bought. Meanwhile, bottom lane, Paradigm Shift. Oh, chunking down Flaming Shock down to about 200 HP. Going to chug all those potions. Comet's going to miss that death sentence, so just got to be careful there. Meanwhile, Derp in a pretty tough situation top side. Still going to be behind in that lane, and that's going to be a really tough situation for the Fiora to be in now because now you're just so far behind. Meanwhile, also on the bot side, you're going to see them pushing forward as well. They saw that Grand Poly was in the bottom lane, so they assume that he's going to go top side. So IGP is actually going to meet Poly in the brush and going to be able to get some damage onto it. Double buffs with the shield from Swaggy P, and that Vi is going to be pretty powerful there. Poly is kind of in trouble here. They could potentially initiate on this, but instead they'll back off. They'll pick up the Scuttle Crab potentially. Uh-oh, no. FGC maybe looking to go in for a kill onto the Vi, but it's not going to matter. First Blood's going to go over to Comet in the bottom lane, but a nice taunt from Azurix Fire, picking up the kill onto the Vex. Meanwhile, Paradigm Shift, using all of his summoner spells bot lane, will fall. So it ends up being a 1-for-1 play, giving the gold over to the... Giving the gold over to Azurix Fire on the Galio for Imperial Gaming, but the Spartan Shields, they get their first blood gold onto Sir Comet. Not necessarily the way that you want to have your gold go towards, simply because you know the support and the impact that the gold that the support brings to the table is not as impactful as, say, you know, the mid laner or the ADC. With that being said, Galio coming back with 2 amplifying tomes. Meanwhile, topside, actually, Noble Bark is going to fall. I missed that that gank pretty entirely. That was so quick. Noble Derp, or Newbie Derp, Noble Derp. Newbie Derp is going to be able to deny Noble Bark the ability to, stay deathless in this game. Pretty big win for the Fiora there. But Bark does have teleport and will be able to get back to the lane fairly easily, but doesn't have flash. So one of the reasons why he wasn't able to stay in that lane or wasn't able to survive that last gank. And that's big. That is big for Derp as this Fiora wants to be able to shut down this Gwen as much as possible. Gank in the bot lane or in the middle lane, not going to be successful in picking up the kill onto FGC, but she does have no summoner spells, so the Vex is vulnerable. Not super vulnerable because he does have the fear to be able to get away from any potential dashes that Swaggy P is trying to go for. Could use personal space as well to stop the dash as well. So, I mean, there's options for the Vex to be able to get away, but not having flash is definitely a scary situation for any really a mobile mid laner. Speaking of no flashes, though, all bot lane summoner spells except for Rin's a flash are all down right now, so they've got to be playing fairly carefully as well. Thresh is fairly safe because the nature of his kit will be able to use the Flay, could use the Death Sentence to maybe disrupt any potential play there, and if he plays back, Flaming Shock will be able to use the Lantern to get back to safety, so should be feeling pretty good there. Meanwhile, Vision going to be spotted. Swaggy P will be able to get the Dragon Pit cleared. Is a Cloud Drake first. Vi, does have a pretty decent clear on the Dragon, but is going to have to be worried about potentially the Xin Zhao in the area, and maybe doesn't see it. Wow, Newbie Derp is picking up a kill once again bot lane, or top lane, but we're looking bottom lane as well. Paradigm Shift, Rin, and Swaggy P are all going to try to pick up this Cloud Drake very early. Drake 6.25 minutes in, and sure enough, they will be able to pick it up. So good job there, Imperial Gaming. Despite being seen on Vision, the priority of the bot lane was enough to deter any sort of play from Comet or Flame and Shock on the actual Dragon itself, and so they do pick that one up quite nicely. Xin Zhao could have potentially contested it. I mean, he does have some pretty decent position or some pretty decent power early on, and they're looking to go for the gank now against Rin and Paradigm Shift, but a huge bubble is going to deny that, though. We got to see what Azurix Fire is going to be able to do, getting the taunt onto Polly, and Polly will fall. First death of the game. Doesn't necessarily have a lot of really massive defenses. Picked up the pickaxe first in that last back, so unfortunately going to fall there. Failed gank. Nice roam from the Galio to pick up that kill. So I must say, really good play coming in from Newbie Derp. This is exactly what you want to do when you're up against the Gwen. Shut down the Gwen. Make it difficult for them to get those first couple of items. And then once you do, you've really focused. You've really made it, a much easier game to play because a powerless Gwen is not a threat. A Gwen that does get going is going to be pretty difficult. So this is exactly what you want to see. If you are, rooting for Spartan Shields, they want to win this game. They got to continue to keep this Fiora feeling good. She is in the lead CS-wise and gold-wise by about 600 gold. And on the other side of the rift, Azurix Fire, present in both of the kills so far, has some nice roams bot side. Pick up that kill onto Polly, is in a substantial goal, or in a substantial goal lead, I'd say, 400 gold. Meanwhile, heroic entrance. Noble Bark is going to be able to survive, and Newbie Derp tries to go in to get some damage in on it, but not going to be enough to really deter the Galio. We're actually getting some BM as well, some laughing from this Fiora. Could potentially be unheated laughter there. As we see Polly not going to be able to go in for the engage onto the Galio. We'll be able to get out of that one just fine. All right, with the death sentence missing, Sir Comet and Flaming Shock will step back. A little bit of an advantage right now for the Twitch in terms of CS and in terms of items. Has the serrated Dirk, has the extra damage that comes with it, along with an extra dagger as well. We've got 1,500 gold laying on Flame and Shock. Like, he needs to step back now, and he's lucky that they didn't actually go in for that fight, because I think Paradigm Shift wins that fight there. That would have resulted into deaths potentially against the Spartan Shields. But now Newbie Derp is in trouble. Assault and Battery is ready to go as well. The Grand Challenge, Noble Bark is going to be the target. Try to get that healing, but it will not be enough. Bark will be able to get the extra healing to survive. The Crescent Guard is dropped, but it's not going to do anything against melee champions. And Swaggy P is so close to death, but will be able to take the kill up on against Grand Poly. Nicely done there. Now, Paradigm Shift looking to go for the kill against FGG9. He's going to flash away, but it'll be enough damage. Paradigm Shift taking the kill onto the Vex, even with Flash getting used. So the last minute has been pretty successful here for Imperial Gaming. They pick up the kill onto the Fiora, get the Gwen back on track. That's going to be leeching Lear, if not even a little bit more for this Gwen. Meanwhile, Noon Quiver picked up as well for this Twitch. Wow, that's Plated Steel Caps and Leeching Lear for this Gwen. So she definitely is feeling good about that buy. And Noon Quiver picked up as well for Paradigm Shift. I'm a little curious to see what he decides to go for here. He does, he picks up the Serrated Dirk as well. So we'll see what he wants to pick up with that. We'll see how he wants to play it out. He's got a couple of components for items, but no full completed items just yet, although he is sitting on 3,600 gold. So maybe some itemization questions there. Want to see what he's able to do with it, though. Got some lethality. He's got the Noon Quiver as well, which is pretty good. Is really just beating out Flaming Shock right now, gold-wise as well. Going to be up by about 500 gold. And in that last back, Berserker Greaves getting taken as well as a Vampiric Scepter. So this Aphelios is, like, deceptively weak, I would say, at the moment. Like, he has a little bit of attack speed, has a little bit of lifesteal, but he doesn't actually have the damage to back up any sort of punch that Rin and Paradigm Shift could try to go for here. So I'm excited to see how this plays out. I do not think this is a fight that the Spartan Shield to try to go for, considering the itemization that the Twitch did, or that the Aphelios decided to go for. But instead, Comet's going to flash away. Assault Battery is going to land onto Swaggy P along with the knockup, but the Dark Passage will be enough to get the Xin Zhao away, but he is down to about 100 HP. Thanking his lucky stars for his Thresh for that disengage, but now with less than 300 HP remaining, he will have to return and go back. Now, look to Paradigm Shift. He is invisible and does have the slow from the Nami. Going to get a lot of damage on the Comet, and FGZ9 will get taunted in as well, but not going to be any kills. Instead, just going for the disengage once again, and they will be able to pick up the second dragon of the game. And it's a Hextech Soul as well. Meanwhile, topside, Bark is just continuing to push forward against Newbie Derp. Drops Needlework. And it's going to be able to get some nice damage onto the Fiora, but the Fiora is still handling herself just fine. Flaming Shock is now in trouble. Going to drop the Hourglass that he has. My word. This is some weird builds coming in from Flaming Shock, in my opinion, at least. In my opinion, picks up the Hourglass, has lethal tempo, so it seems like this was an intentional buy, picking up the Hourglass, trying to be able to survive, and hey, it worked for him. And now he sells it. He's going to pick up 2 long swords to go pick up for his Noon Quiver. And unfortunately, like, again, now that useful trinket is now no longer going to be there, as FCG9 tries to go in. Azurix Fire is going to be in trouble, but gets the kill onto the Vex. He will fall as a 1-for-1 ensues. So mid for mid comes in, and Swaggy P will be able to get away from the death sentence. So nicely done there. So far, 1,000 gold lead and 2 dragons along with the Rift Herald taken for the side of Imperial Gaming. They have definitely won out in the early game quite successfully. But now we look to the mid game. We look to see what Flaming Shock's going to be able to do on this Aphelios. Once he picks up his first item, once he picks up his second item, what is he going to be able to bring to the table? How much longer can we shut down Noble Bark before he becomes too much of an issue? Swaggy P is going to drop the Rift Herald, and that will initiate the mid-game for the time being. Flaming Shock is in trouble. Moonfall is going to land. No, it doesn't get enough damage, unfortunately. So, Flaming Shock will not be able to use it, but he does get the flash out of the Twitch. We'll get the healing from Rin, so should be okay. So far, a pretty climactic game. Pretty fun. Couple of minutes here. We actually get several turret plates. I think 3 turret plates there from Swaggy P because of that Rift Herald. Meanwhile, the bot side, Paradigm Shift picks up another kill on to Flaming Shock. Now on a killing spree. Finally getting the Noon Quiver here for the Aphelios as well. But Paradigm Shift is just feeling pretty confident. He's feeling good. Azurix Fire is on the way. Tidal Wave is not ready, though, because of that last fight. So instead, they decide to back off. And he's got 1,100 gold in his pocket. He pick up that next item if he wants to go for it. Meanwhile, topside, Noble Bark looking to go for the needlework against Newbie Derp. Instead, will walk away. So does still have the needlework ready to go. And now with Swaggy P in the area, they could potentially try to go in for a fight here. Overextension from the Fiora going to result in that flash getting expended as the price to try to stop the ward from being taken. But instead, now we've got FGG9 in the area along with Azurix Fire. It is a 2v3. Assault and Battery is going to get used. And it's going to be the kill on to Newbie Derp, but a nice use of the personal space there. FGG9 will be able to survive using the fear to be able to stay alive there. Nicely done. But unfortunately, again, Newbie Derp is going to fall, and that is big to continue to keep the power going for Noble Bark and this Gwen. Time Bomb is there, and on top of that, feeling strong, and especially in a 2v3 situation, it's going to be Swaggy P picking up the Gromp and potentially going to go for the blue buff play as well. They've got the Hex gates to be able to run away if need be, and they will just be able to get a ton of jungle camps, a ton of gold, a huge influx of money for them. So a great play there coming in from Swaggy P and Noble Bark. Pick up that tower and the kills. Meanwhile, Paradigm Shift and Rin are going to try to go in for the kill. The teleport's going to get used by Azurix Fire as the Dark Passage comes in, but the slow from the Tidal Wave will be enough to pick up the kill on to the Aphelios. Derp and Bark will use their teleports as well. The minute remaining until the Hextech Drake responds. They will stay down here to try to go in for this fight. Once again, Imperial Gaming off to the races, picking up another tower and picking up the kill on to the Aphelios is pretty big. 10 seconds remaining until the Rift Herald spawns. And this is what I like about like gold play. This is what I like about, you know, trying to see things from the side of like a gold player or of a platinum player, is that, you know, there are these kind of exciting situations that are coming through, some of these exciting things that are coming in, and it gives you that opportunity to see what people are coming up with. And these are players that I would play with as well. I'm a gold player, so I definitely like to see what other gold players are doing, kind of seeing, you know, how I can improve as a player because of them. And so we get to see that a little bit here in this game. You gotta question sometimes some of the options, some of the builds that players go for. Paradigm Shift, you know, picks up the pickaxe in that last back. Unfortunately, for the Spartan Shields, they have to back off of the Rift Herald, but now a fight has begun. Paradigm Shift gets completely dove upon. Nice death sentence there. We'll pick up the kill onto the Twitch, and now the shutdown is coming through. But a nice use of the taunt from Azurix Fire is going to make FGG9 go golden. Grand Challenge going to get used on to Noble, or onto Azur Fire, who will go golden to deny the extra healing from it. And so now it's a 2-for-1 play. Maybe looking to go for the third, but cannot make it happen. It is jungle and mid for ADC, but the shutdown does go towards the side of the Spartan Shields. But they are still 4 strong, and they are feeling comfortable to try to go in for a play here. So Comet's going to try to make a play happen, getting the exhaust onto Fire, and Fire is going to be in trouble. Will get shut down, which is a bit of an overextension from Imperial Gaming. Spartan Shields now could potentially contest this Rift Herald down to 4,800 HP, and that looks like something they want to do. Swaggy P does not have Assault and Battery, is in trouble, but Paradigm Shift is back in the area, and they've got to be aware of that. Comet will miss the death sentence and will go straight into the Rat's Foray. Will pick up some damage, and on top of that, the Rift Herald will get taken by Swaggy P and the Vibe, but it's FGC picking up the kill onto Paradigm, as well as Noble Bark falling once again. Polly is extremely low. Swaggy P is now in trouble, going to try to make it a 3-for-0 trade, but he will try to run away and does have the Empowered Recall. So he'll get the Rift Herald, but they will pay for it with 2 deaths on the ADC and the top laner. So now finally, 19 minutes in, we got some mythic items getting putting on display. We see the Riftmaker, the Divine Sunderer, the Everfrost, the Gale Force, and the Imperial Mandate, all taken by the side of Imperial Gaming. They pick up five mythic items within the span of about a minute. So that's pretty major. A big power spike for them. Gale Force to get some extra mobility for the Twitch. Imperial Mandate because it's Imperial Mandate. And you've got Divine Sunderer on this Vi, who's now feeling pretty good about what he's been able to bring to the table. Has the extra sheen damage along with the extra just power that the Divine Sunderer gives for bruisers. So is feeling pretty strong. And it's going to be up to the Spartan Shields to find a way back into this game. Well, it's not a really drastic gold difference. The game state is such favoring towards the side of Imperial Gaming that they can try to go for a Baron play at this next dragon. They could try to go for the dragon itself and try to make that team fight happen. And I don't know what Spartan Shields is going to be able to do unless they can get a good flank and use the Shadow Surge from the Vex effectively, and use the Crescent Guard effectively, and make a good play happen. Rift Herald is going to come through. Comet is going to get hit by the Death Sentence, but he does not initiate on to it. Meanwhile, Rift Herald down to about 1,300 HP. No one is getting the eye yet. Finally going to get the eye to go down. They are now on a ward. They do not realize that they are on a ward, and the Shadow Surge is going to come in, getting the fleet, but it doesn't really deal a lot of damage against the frontliners. The Zerix Fire is going to go golden, but a huge tidal wave from Rin is going to be big as we get the knock-up from Azure Fire, being able to get the kill on Grand Poly, and Paradigm Shift will use the Gale Force along with his Flash to get the kill on to a Comet. So it is 2-0 in that play that the Spartan Shields initiated, and with the jungler down, they go straight over to Baron. A minute remaining till the Hextech Drake spawns. This could be huge for them if they're able to make it happen. Nice use of the parry from Derp, but will it be enough? Now VG9 or FGG9 is in the front lines, and now they're going to back off once again. Do they still have enough time to go for the Baron? It does not look like it. So the initiation onto the rest of the Spartan Shield squad has forced Imperial Gaming's hand. They have to back off, and they will not be able to pick up the Baron before this Hextech Drake spawns. But if there's any indication that, this game is looking really good for Imperial Gaming, it was that last team fight. FGG9 had a beautiful Shadow Surge. Amazing Shadow Surge onto 3 members, was able to get the fear. They got the initiation that they wanted, but they didn't get the follow-up, and they really didn't have a lot of damage out of that. FGG9 did not pack much of a punch there. He got the CC, but that was about it. And he was able to back off, but yeah, that was really not the play that I think that they wanted. Zerix Fire was able to survive and was able to get the heroic entrance in. He will not have that heroic entrance for this next fight, but now the split push has begun. Noble Derp is in the top side. Check to see when that teleport comes in. The flank is now coming through from Noble Bark and Azure Fire. They're going to try to get the kill on to somebody before this fight even begins. Comet is going to be the target, and Comet is going to get rooted and destroyed. Another nice tidal wave from Rin will be enough disengage. And with the support gone, the rest of Spartan Shields are not feeling confident in this play. They will end up being cautious here. But will they go in? They're going to get taunted by Azure Fire, who's in the brush. No ward control on the side of Spartan Shields in that area. And that is big. That's going to lead to the pins and needles getting used. Spray and pray coming down and picking up the kill on to Flame and Shock. It is Hextech Soul at 23 minutes for Imperial Gaming. Those early dragons are now coming in huge, and they have 20 seconds before the Aphelios is back up. They will now be looking to go towards Baron, and this should be the GG situation of this game. It looks to be over. Imperial Gaming with just better macro control in the early game has resulted in them being able to win out in the mid game. They get some good fights right before the dragons, and they're going to be able to pick up Baron here. Comet maybe wanting to say something about it, going to get slowed, but Bark is going to get hit by the death sentence. Going to use the mist. Gwen is immune, so we'll be able to survive, but now it's going to be Grand Poly in trouble. Going to go on a rampage. Azure X Fire getting huge mileage out of the Zhonya's Hourglass, but Flaming Shot getting there in time is going to drop both Swaggy P and Zerex's Fire will fall. And unfortunately now, a Baron play? They're going to go for Baron here. I don't know if I advise this. They don't have Pally on the way, but they're thinking that they could potentially make this happen here. They are extremely low, and yeah, this is ill-advised, so they will back off, see if anyone gets kicked off along the way. Doesn't look like it. Bark will get seen by the wards, and so no one else falling, but a little bit of a waste of time there, I would say, from Spartan Shields. I mean, nice attempt to try to go for it, but again, being able to deny the Baron is the big part there. You deny Baron on the side of Imperial Gaming. Spartan Shields delaying the game a little while longer for the potential inevitable victory of Imperial Gaming, but Spartan Shields, they are still alive in this one. They have the chance. They're only behind by about 3,000 gold, but the big issue is the power of this Hextech Soul, especially on Paradigm Shift. Hextech Soul, it provides the slow, it provides the extra damage, and it provides, you know, the Train Lightning to give that slow onto multiple members. So those spray and pays are going to be even easier to land if he's able to find that right angle. So, you know, feeling really strong about this one, I think Paradigm Shift is. He's going to have a really just disastrous positioning here in these team fights and get chunked down before the rest of, before Spartan Shields it dies themselves. But for now, it is just going to be a little bit of a lull in the game state. "26-minute game, still a fairly even one, but I want to see just kind of how the rest of this game does play out. You know, where do we see the game lead? Because at the moment, just having the power of the Hextech Soul is pretty massive. It gives you so much control in these team fights, which is something that Imperial Gaming has definitely built for here. So Comet is just trying to go in for those death sentences. He landed a couple of crucial ones in this game, which is really, really good. You know, if I have to shout anyone out here in this play, in this game so far, you have to really, I think Comet has had some really nice death sentences that have given Imperial Gaming a run for their money and given the Spartan Shield some nice plays. And I also have to shout out Newbie Derp, you know, having a really strong early game, I feel, against the Gwen, and not allowing the Gwen to get ahead so quickly. Yes, the Gwen is now at 2 items, but it took 27 minutes to get to purely 2 items, and that's a big feat. And so really solid play there from Newbie Derp. Had a substantially impactful early game. It resulted in some plays, but now maybe another fight. Azurex's Fire looking to pick up the kill on to Comet. Does get the taunt and getting some poke damage. Baron could potentially be the play here, but Bark does not have teleport. Newbie, Derp, and FGG9 do. So instead are going to back off once again. Elder Drake is spawning in a minute 30. They could potentially decide to go for that, as long as Imperial Gaming does not get too confident before the end of it, or before that gets spawned, and giving it over to Spartan Shields. And I want to shout out, again, Azurex's Fire had some really good roams in the early game. He's had a lot of mileage out of that Zhonya's Hourglass, being able to protect himself in some pretty sticky situations, and using Heroic Entrance effectively to get some nice knockups and those shields, which are huge, especially up against the Vex, who is the main AP dealer, damage dealer here. But the repositioning that he's been able to provide with Heroic Entrance has been pretty substantial, and you can't deny Rin's use of the tidal wave has been so strong. Multiple multi-man tidal wave hits, able to get the slow onto it as well, which then allows for them to catch up. And with 30 seconds remaining, this could be the last major team fight here in this game. Swaggy P is being offensive in his positioning, going to use the Hex Gate, try to move forward, and they're going to clear out Vision, just trying to deny any sort of river control. And so now you're in a pinch. You're in a pinch right now. If you are a Spartan Shields, you're trying to go through the river and these choke points, and that is not going to be a good time. You've got to be able to get into the river before you initiate this fight. Common's going to see where everyone is at. You've got to be careful here because now Bark is going to go in for the flank as well. How do they collapse upon this one? Where do they find the play that they're looking for? And they're going to get into the river over on the bot side. Will it be enough for them to be able to get this team fight, though, as Bark now gets initiated? Going to be a lot of damage on the Flame and Shock as we do get a nice Hero's Entrance into the bubble. Going to land a lot of damage, but Rin is going to fall, and Paradigm Shift is now potentially next to fall as well. And sure as well will fall. Swaggy P is now potentially in trouble. Going to be able to flash away from FGC9. And now very low health on a lot of these members from Spartan Shields. They're going to still try to potentially initiate onto this Baron, but Swaggy P does still have Smite and does still have Azure Fire at full HP. That was exactly what you wanted. You cut off the damage from the Imperial Gaming squad. You made it impossible for them to make it happen. Swaggy P will fall. A huge play for Newbie Derp, getting the jungler down. Now, Azure Fire is all that stands between this Elder Drake going towards Spartan Shield or not. 2 seconds until the teleport is ready for Noble Bark. Azure Fire is going to try to go in. He's going to get stunned out. He's going to try to go for the taunt. He's going to try to pick up any kills that he can. 3,100 damage. Newbie Derp is now unstoppable, picking up the kill, and now a teleport coming in from Bark. You've got Rin on the way as well, but will it be enough? Bark is now all alone. They're going to try to be able to get away from this one, but can they? They are so low health against this Gwen. The Hextech slow is huge, as Bark now being able to pick up the kill onto Comet and onto Pally as well. FGC9 is the next target and will get hit by the bubble. That is 3 members down against Imperial Gaming. Oh no, Spartan Shield, they go for the play, but it misses out substantially. Yes, you keep the Elder Drake on 2 members, but you give Rift control over to Imperial Gaming. Man, that was unfortunate. Like, that was a great team fight there from Spartan Shields. They got the right play. They had the right idea, despite it looking terrible for them at the very beginning. Azure Fire getting a huge play on the with that Hero's Entrance, getting a knock up into the bubble. It looked like there was going to be enough damage for Paradigm Shift to get some kills before he falls, but unfortunately, he just gets dove on and denied any sort of impact in that fight. Common's going to get taunted and now is in trouble. Spray and Pray is going to get used, so Paradigm Shift will pick up the kill onto the Thresh once again. Teleport also used by Newbie Derp. They are worried about the potential Baron play here. Elder Drake is still online for another 90 seconds for Flame and Shock and Newbie Derp. Look to them to see if they can get the damage necessary. Swaggy P is going to go into the Death Rush and will get hit by the slow, but not the root. Moonfall will miss, but the Shadow Surge will not, and it's going to be Newbie Derp getting the shutdown on to the Gwen. Big play there thanks to the Elder Drake. It is now a 4v4 advantage to Spartan Shields, but maybe they're not even caring about that. Spartan Shields are going for the Baron, but they could potentially lose an inhibitor here. Paradigm Shift is just going to continue to push forward into the Nexus. Baron is down to about 8,000 HP, but there is potential for them to pick up a tower, but instead Newbie Derp is looking to go in for the kill against the Twitch and will be able to get the Elder Dragon damage and will secure the execute there. Now looking for a double kill. The golden play. Baron is going to go down. It's going to be Azure Fire falling as a double kill happens for the Vi. Flaming Shock does still have the Elder Drake for another 30 seconds and will pick up 2 as well. So now it is a 3v1 Nami versus the world. The Baron is going to get started up once again. No Barons taken yet, but this is the 3rd attempt at a Baron play by the side of Spartan Shields. Will they be able to get it this time? They've got 3 members still alive. Can they do it? Noble Bark is going to try to do what he can. Maybe going to try to go in for the Smite steal here. Will he be able to make it happen? 2,800, 2,900, 1,700. No Smite for Grand Poly. He could try to go in for this, but no, he backs off. He doesn't want to risk it. And Baron will go over to the Spartan Shields. Oh boy, we got ourselves a game, folks. Despite the Hextech Soul getting taken almost 10 minutes ago, the Elder Drake and Baron Nashor go over to the side of the Spartan Shields, and they are going to have a significant opportunity now to push forward with these Baron buffs and take some inhibitors, take some structures, and get into a gold lead for the first time for the last, like, 30 minutes or so. Huge opportunities, big items now online. Flame and Shock, third item, LDR, Runan's Hurricane. You've got 3 items on Paradigm Shift as well. Like, they are, at this point, the biggest threats in this game. Noble Bark is up there as well. Has the Riftmaker, Nashor's Tooth, Zonia's Hourglass. You've got a APC build from Azurax Fire. Demonic Embrace now unlocked. And now looking to potentially finish the job. Spartan Shields. They have to worry about, not having any structures and really not doing much with this Baron play. We haven't really seen much of anything happen just yet. They're taking their own jungle camps. They're still getting pushed in upon. Yes, they have the wave crashing in the top lane, so there are, some things happening, but now, a minute and a half into Baron, they're trying to push forward, and even still, Newbie Derp is going to go back, potentially. Derp is going to go into the brush, and he will get dove upon. Can he get out of this one? The answer is no, but will he take anyone with him? He's going to get slowed, and that should be it. He's going to try to dash and move away. Polly's going to try to move in to go in for the assistance. He's going to flash for no reason, and that's going to be big for the Imperial Gaming squad. Pally is the next target, but now Paradigm Shift going to be able to use Spray and Pray and can go in to try to get the knockup. Does end up getting the flank as well from Noble Bark, and FGZ9 is going to fall along with Comet. It is a 3-for-0 trade in favor of Imperial Gaming, and now maybe even a 4-for-0 trade. Polly going to be able to escape, but Azurax Fire is going to see him. No, it is a 4-for-0 trade. Oh no, the Xin Zhao missing the flash as well. Going to get rooted by the Everfrost. Now Swaggy P and Azurax Fire should be able to finish the job onto the Xin Zhao. Paradigm Shift will die against the Aphelios. That is a 3-item Aphelios, but flash is getting used. Rin will clear it out, and that might just be GG here. One misplay by Newbie Derp, staying a little bit too far out, all alone. Should have backed. Had he backed, that could have potentially kept the game going. But no, unfortunately, is going to fall. Fire's going to get some damage onto the tower. The Elder Drake is alive. FGD9 is going to teleport in along with Newbie Derp to try to go in against them. This might not be the right play here, folks, but they're going to try to go for it anyways. Assault and Battery is going to get used onto Newbie Derp. Newbie Derp is going to get dove upon. A lot of damage and will fall before Swaggy P can go down. The Elder Drake did get deleashed, so a lot of that health is now down. FGZ9 is now the next target to get taunted and obliterated. There are the carries, or some of the carries down. It is a 3-5 play in favor of Imperial Gaming, and that has to do it. Like, there's no way that Spartan Shields comes back from this one. Double Bark and Azure Fire going to be able to heal or just, deny any sort of extra steal opportunities. They're so far ahead, and so they will not be able to even deny the Elder Drake being taken. It's now back to a 5,000 gold lead, and all they have to do is finish the job. They're going to go for the reset, and now with 5 Elder Drakes, that should be enough. But shout out to Spartan Shields. This was a very entertaining game. They had some comeback potentials, but 5-man now initiating the play with the Elder Drake. This should be a GG moment. They just got to find the right team fight. Got to try the right area to push in and close this game out. Almost a 40-minute game one here. It's really shocking that it's a 40-minute game. I expected it to end like 10 minutes ago with how much advantage the Imperial Gaming squad had to begin it, but yeah, unfortunately for them, they weren't able to finish the job. They had some unfortunate plays and some good plays coming in from Spartan Shields to be able to get some damage in, to be able to deny the game from getting out of control too quickly. Swaggy P is going to get dove upon. Hera's entrance will get used. The knockup will land onto nobody. Spray and Pray is going to go down as well. And now with Elder Drake still for another 90 seconds, they are still not inside the base yet. That inhibitor turret is so low. Paradigm Shift needs to just be hitting onto that. A nice root going to be able to deal a lot of damage. Golden Vex going to get taunted in. There's the play that they were looking for. Polly's going to fall. It's going to be FGZ9 going to fall. It's going to be the tower falling. Flame and Shock falls. Double kill, triple kill for Paradigm Shift will finally end this 39-minute game. They're going to just try to push in on it. This should just be it, but instead they are, they're going for the minions, and then they should be able to finish the job. It's Newbie Derp against the world. Going to get rooted, not going to get taunted, but now with the minions on their way, this should be okay. Xerx Fire is going to go golden. We're going to get the B emotes, and the minions will move up, take tower shots, and that will be enough. Heroes or heroic challenge is going to come through. Newbie Derp's going to get some healing back up, but will not be able to stop the tide. Congratulations to the side of Imperial Gaming picking up that kill and picking up that win. Solid performance, solid game there. But, you know, went a little bit long. Like, there was some chances for the side of the Spartan Shields to be able to bring that game back. And so definitely a tough one for them to lose, but it ended up resulting in Imperial Gaming winning. Imperial Gaming did win the series 2-0, so they did take their first win of the Aegis Guardians League. Thank you guys all so much for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed this solo shoutcast, Aegis Guardians League. We'll be back again on Friday for week number 2, so definitely don't miss that. But in the meantime, have a great night, everyone. Stay safe and take care.